ID on Sniper. Outstanding.
We're not gonna put this damn thing here.
Roger, moving to target. Set here, boss. Okay, Ghost Lead, we're clear.
Rock and roll.
Clean kill, Ghost. Outstanding. Copy, boss. Moving there. All set. Clear.
Solid.
They figured out we're here. All day, baby. Copy, boss. Moving there. On your go, Ghost Lead. Got him. They're down.
Rock and roll.
Think we're good.
What do you want?
Oh God, you're not supposed to be here.
Why are you here? No, I'm not doing anything wrong.
Oh God.
Sharp. You're not alone. Hostiles have been alerted. Located a bad guy over there. Way to get it done. Bro, 30 minutes. You need to find some cover. Hostile identified. Over there. Okay, we're clear here. Okay, company. Stay sharp. Got a hostile position there. Quiet. They know we're here. Combat drone's battery is drained.
Would have been sweet to have it right.
Hostile identified. Over there. Got a hostile position there.
Hey! Hostiles are attacking us!
Hostile.
Let's roll!
Located a bad guy over there. Throwing a live one.
Nice going.
Got a hostile position there. Think we're good.
I have the handprint and the codes from Sergeant Kent. You ready?
Oh, man.
This isn't gonna happen without you, Carl. Your friends need you.
Yeah? Yeah, okay. I'll get some transport.
Your friends and I will meet you outside the prison. And Carl?
Yeah?
You'll do fine.
day, baby. Clean kill, Ghost. Let me get a clean shot. All set. Clear. They're gone. Maneuvering in position. Radio up locked. Killed him.
Nice shooting.
ghost lead. Maneuvering in position. Set here, boss. Okay, ghost lead. We're clear.
Solid work.
Located a bad guy over there. Hostile identified. Over there.
So the ghosts got away with stealth?
Got a hostile position there. Located a bad guy over there. Hostile identified. Over there.
Download any games you want to sync some time in before the storm hits. Bring you updates as we proceed. And on behalf of everyone here and the future generation, everything we're all working for, on strike.
Got a hostile position there. Got a breacher. We're gonna have bad guys on us.
drone will give us an extra edge.
Hostile down. Nomad, drone's deactivated. We're safe now.
I can't see them. Oh God, they killed everyone. I'll kill you for what you've done to us. You're dead. Yeah, boys. It is on. There's no one left. I can't. I can't see them.
Damn, respect!
inhaled in large quantities. Scale clinics have agreed to provide breathing masks to anyone affected. But of course, it's always safer to stay indoors until the danger is past. And that's it for us at Aroa News now and tomorrow. Wishing you well. As always, Aroa, keep on striving. That's a new world ahead.
Located a bad guy over there.
Rotating sleep schedule. Sure thing, sir.
Stay tuned for the news.
They killed him!
Please. I'm not doing anything wrong.
Get some. Careful. We know we're around.
Nothing yet. Keep looking.
Shit! Grenade!
switch to night vision. Activating night vision.
I thought I was the crazy one around here. Herzog puts me to shame.
Outstanding.
Putting on night vision.
Who the hell are you?
Hey.
Activating night vision goggles.
Oh shit. Blake was such a scaredy cat.
Night vision on.
All day, baby.
Time to switch to night vision.
Good work, everyone. They know they can't tangle with us.
My name's Nomad. I'm here to rescue you.
This is a jailbreak?
Yeah, Carl Chisholm is waiting outside, ready to take all of you to safety.
Carl? Carl's here?
He is. Now come on. Activating night vision.
Okay, we're clear here. Take the ride. I'll find my own.
Hurry up! Let's go!
Carl, is that really you?
Yes! Now come on!
Oh, I never thought I'd be happy to see your ugly mug.
Come on! Let's get going!
What is it?
What are you doing here? Please, leave me alone.
can't believe she's gone.
Oh, don't tell me you're gonna miss her.
No. I don't think I will. You can tell Jace. The back door to that program is gonna stay open.
You guys gonna be all right?
I hope so. We were in contact with the R&D center in Whalers Bay. They were able to help us out, at least at first. So, we'll head there. But, there's a soldier. Rosebud?
I've had the pleasure.
There were rumors that Herzog would let Rosebud hunt down escaped prisoners. It wasn't official, but they do it. She has every reason to come after us now.
I'll keep an eye out for info on Rosebud. For now, you guys do what you can. Stay healthy.
Yeah. I'm gonna make sure we got everyone out. Then we'll be on our way. Good luck out there.
We need rest, boss.
You think this was how things were gonna go when Sentinel came in? Oh, I don't know where we'd be without you, man.
Drones. Drones? They're gonna put this thing on drones?
I know. Drones are doing everything they can to stop it.
Hey, Jace, we made sure that back door is staying open.
And the programs?
Bitch of a warden is forcing them to work. Most of them got away.
Most. And the others? God. No more, all right? We have what we need.
ready to save Aroa?
Fox received a recording from his source. I'm not sure, but I think it could help.
What is it?
Play the recording.
Genius. What's this thing keeping people in Aroa?
The drone perimeter. We're calling it Operation Citadel. I think Walker came up with the name.
Any weak spots?
The perimeter is made up of different interlocking sectors, and each sector has its own drone swarm. Each swarm is managed by an AI that runs through a local relay terminal.
I could see that system working for surveillance, but it took out my chopper without firing a shot.
The swarms, they're made up of dozens of miniature drones that act in unison, like a flock.
You made an artificial bird strike.
No. We made artificial birds to do the job of bees. Pollination. It's Stone and Walker who militarized our swarms to create a deadly shield perimeter. Who thinks like that?
People after power. Scaltech needs to start thinking more like its clients. How well do you know Walker?
Well, we fixed things together. He was a military advisor brought in after the Scaltech bombing. We were still in mourning for the friends we lost, and then this hero shows up. He was magnetic, charismatic, you know? Like a TV star or something.
Yeah. That guy could charm the fleas off a dog. He kind of changed after he left the unit.
He never spoke about it.
Well, it's top secret. Let's just say it wasn't pretty. I suppose you got tricked into inviting private military contractors into Aroa.
Well, I mean, not exactly. We're self-governing.
You used to be.
Okay, we used to be. We needed security. Not just as a police force, but as security. At least that's what Miles got me to finally admit.
Against pirates in the moment and such?
Our drone security was limited. It still is. If unauthorized people land, we would know about it, but we couldn't do anything about it.
You're obviously not afraid of squatters. You were afraid of corporate spies.
We do get spies from time to time. Don't tell the shareholders, but the more our tech discoveries are disseminated throughout the world, the better off it'll be. But I was worried about the safety of our staff, the bombing. I just never imagined the antibiotics would be more deadly than the illness. Sentinel snuck a private army into the abandoned U.S. military complexes. Stone's been planning this takeover from day one. My colleague, Ayanna Puri, who dealt with this, certainly has a better picture.
This guy, Trey Stone, doesn't make things easy.
He always seemed kind of ambitious. He and Walker always had some friction.
Walker mentioned Stone before, but never in a friendly way. I take it he isn't very likable.
He's a creep. But I've had to work with all kinds of people before. Sometimes you tolerate jerks just because they get the job done.
Did he get the job done?
I don't actually know. He kind of insulated himself. As a subcontractor, I couldn't supervise him the way I did other people. I had to trust Walker when he said things were going well.
Fox called you his best friend.
Yeah, I never thought about it, but I guess he's mine too.
Times like this, you can count your real friends on one hand. You known him a while? You a buddy from college or something?
No. A few years ago, I hired him as a consultant. He was working on the problem P versus NP.
That literally means nothing to me.
It's a math problem. One of the math problems. But Fox was just so enthusiastic about everything, I widened the scope of his role. He was involved in every non-military project Scaltech had.
He's a good guy to have around.
Absolutely.
Hey, what's the deal with this chick on all the video screens? Ayanna Puri.
Yeah, my CFO.
I guess she's just, fulfilling her regular job duties, sharing the company news.
Yeah. Did you see the one where she said I was crazy? Having a mental breakdown or something?
It's not a bad propaganda campaign.
She's not as smart as she thinks she is. Her strategies were always traditional. She's never had any real vision.
So why keep her?
She seems so genuinely concerned about the employees' welfare. Now I see she's just playing office politics. She's more clever than smart. She's effectively taken over as CEO.
Hey, did Fox tell you who his inside source might be? Now, I don't want to press him. I'm not even 100% that he has one. But if that source gets into trouble, he could need someone to help out.
He hasn't told me. And I doubt he would respond well to a man with a gun asking him the question.
Hey, you don't have to tell me. Just as long as you know.
I don't know. And it's not like him to be quiet about anything. I mean, the things that guy told me about his ex-wife, it was like listening to a guy describe a squid eating a chocolate birthday cake. Nobody needs to hear that.
So if he is keeping this secret, it must be pretty big.
Must be.
Hey, genius. I always thought you were more of a pacifist. Gotta say, though, it's a damn shame you had to start making lethal drones.
I was naive, I guess. I always hoped for the best out of people, you know? When a bomb goes off and I meet the wrong person at the worst time, I bought their logic that if you want peace, carry a big stick line of reasoning. Stone even said, doesn't God have his avenging angels guarding the gates of paradise? I never felt right here. We're building heaven on earth. We're not gods.
Is that why you kept it secret? Project Omega? Because, you know, some people might look at it as a PR shield, keeping the image of a pacifist while making money on weapons.
PR is important, but you don't wear a seatbelt because you're planning to get into a car crash, right?
You have to be cautious.
Right.
That outcast bombing must have hit you pretty hard.
Maybe you read about it. I lost my wife in the September 11th attack on the World Trade Center.
Sorry. I didn't know. I guess I can't blame you for bringing in Stone and Sentinel.
Do you know what it feels like to lose someone?
Yeah, I do.
You get all torn up inside. You get to feel like you're falling, but it's an endless fall. You grab hold of anything you can.
So what am I grabbing hold of now?
I don't know. Us. We need you, Nomad. But you probably need us every bit as much.
Hey, I've been hearing about that World 2.0 stuff. And maybe the world needs a software patch. But a utopia? Really?
People out there in the rest of the world, they think the Earth's dying. They have this belief in scarcity. They think that we'll run out of energy, out of space, or out of water, or anything. And that makes every day a crisis.
And World 2.0 would fix that crisis?
It was more about fixing that mentality. I wanted to show the rest of the world that with innovation, with creativity, and with a little courage, it's easy to see the universe is abundant.
And how about now?
It's still an abundant universe. That hasn't changed. Just, I thought I could keep out jealous people. And the cowards.
No getting away from them.
No. I'm probably not as brave as I want to be either.
How did you buy Aroa in the first place?
I didn't buy it. I leased it. Aroa is technically part of New Zealand, but the U.S. had leased it for years.
Yeah. That's why there's the old naval station. But wouldn't it have been easier to rent a chunk of California or something? I'm sure there's a big stretch of Mojave that nobody wants.
Yeah. The abandoned naval station here piqued our interest initially, hoping we could piggyback on the Cold War infrastructure. That was a wash. But once we had visited Aroa, its biodiversity won us over. Good Hope Mountain has ice, Infinity is surrounded by fields, and the swamps of Finbog sport as harsh conditions as any good drone tester could wish for. We fell in love with the place. I bought the lease from the U.S. government.
And now these are your islands. No government but Skeltech.
Well, avoiding government regulation was a factor.
Oh, I'll bet it was. met a lot of Skeltech employees who are mad at you.
The outcasts. Sentinel hasn't taken care of them yet?
They're idiots. But right now, they have resources and personnel that we need.
So we have to work with them?
For now. But I'm not getting too attached. You healed up from the bombing attack? I mean, in your head?
Yeah, well, I had to deal with the aftermath. First team to inspect the site. I still remember all those broken windows, shattered shards of glass. I kept thinking, we can fix those. We can fix those. I got the windows fixed, but I stopped scheduling non-vital meetings in the Skell Foundation head office. It's different than when you see something on TV. It's just reporters and sirens. It's the smell. So acrid it singes your nostrils, like the energy around you has been sucked away, you know?
Yeah, I do.
And the bombers were never caught. We never knew if another one was coming. We suspected the outcast, but now that Sentinel's taken over, I wonder.
You're the one who asked Sentinel to step in.
Yeah, that's on me.
I need more about Paula Madeira. How long have you known her?
Years. I hired her right out of grad school. Actually, she was still in grad school. She was only 20, but she was just so smart. I knew that with her, I could lay the foundation of Skeltech's advanced drone program.
But are you friends? Was there something else going on, or what? There's something here I'm missing.
I think hiring her so young, she never really learned the art of adapting. She didn't like working with Walker. I could have handled her differently. I know I need to talk to her about that.
You didn't answer my question.
It hurt. She was so special and one of the first to truly believe. And in hindsight, she was also right. She saw right through Walker. She was immune to his charm. I was deaf to her warnings.
When did you get away from using dollars?
You like the Screds?
I don't understand them.
They're a cryptocurrency. As much as we could, we wanted to get away from the control of international banking.
But it's a made-up money.
All money is made up. It only has value because we all agree on it as a medium of exchange. Everyone in Aurora agrees to use Screds. And Skeltech makes sure to create a limited supply.
So if we all agree to use your play money instead of dollars, the economy still works the same way?
Money's only worth what you think it's worth.
My mind blown. Listen, I get that Maddox isn't exactly warm and friendly. Why do people hate her?
They don't hate her as much as they fear humanity's evolutionary destiny.
Whoa, that's a little intense. Even for you.
Grace Maddox is in charge of Skeltech's transhumanist research, Project Deus. Yeah, on a personal level, she's not, fun.
Yeah, she's also really into herself.
Sure, she's really effective. I gave her a huge budget. She wants more.
You give it to her?
Ayana Puri, my CFO, wouldn't let me. So Maddox cut costs. Instead of spending the time to perfect a true quantum computer, she developed a DNA-based computer that behaves like a quantum computer.
And you know what she's doing with that?
She plans to download her mind onto that computer. I know it sounds a little crazy and unbelievable, but someone will do it. And she should be first.
Stay out of trouble.
Focus is my forte.
Sometimes it seems like Harmony's the only Skeltech kid in Aurora.
I don't know. We invited more people to Aurora who had children, but most of them turned us down. It was kind of great having Harmony around.
Well, I'm glad it worked out the way it did. There ain't so many kids out in a row for me to worry about.
Believe me, worrying about harmony is enough.
You two seem to get along.
Yeah? She treats me like another kid. She's smart, but having her around helps me see things with new eyes.
But aside from her dad, she has no one else here?
No, just me.
You and Paula cool now?
I hope so. I've known her almost her whole adult life, you know?
You're kind of her mentor.
A mentor's more than a boss. More than a friend, even. I've guided her entire career. I don't want her to feel betrayed.
Well, she's here now. That's something. It's at least a start. You sure this virus is gonna work?
Absolutely. It's not a computer virus like any other. Yes, it will hack systems, controlling a sector of drones, but this virus includes an evolutionary algorithm.
Machine learning backdoor malware? I like my attacks a little simpler.
But our opponent, the systems, they're too complex to come at them with anything less. But don't worry. Paul and I will make it work.
I hope so, genius. I hope so. So, what does a billionaire arms dealer do? You know, whenever he's not manufacturing killing machines.
Skeltech is responsible for an extensive catalog of inventions over the past decades.
I'm listening.
Our first economically viable autonomous machine was the Skell Farmer, a harvester capable of recognizing the range and ripeness of crops. Since then, it's found unintended utility in mining and forestry.
So explain to me how you got here. From farming drones to war machines.
Our next invention, the Skell Transporter, was the first affordable smart delivery device, a new standard in the industry. The Skell Doctor may interest you, an advanced cousin specialized to carry sensitive medical supplies. You could easily shoot one out of the sky to steal its payload.
Could be useful.
Our Cherubim City and Sky models behave like mobile CCTVs, capable of facial and behavioral identification, and alert authorities in real time. I suggest you steer clear of them if you want to move undetected.
I'll keep that in mind.
My point is that I have dedicated my life to improving the human condition, relieving the population from the crushing weight of repetitive work.
Well, let's see if we can make sure your legacy's intact at the end of this. Genius. I need you to tell me everything you can about all the lethal drones out there.
Of course. Anything I can do to help undo what I've done. It all started with two basic military training drones. The Incubus for ground and its airborne sister, the Succubus. They were then multi-purpose, giving birth to new models. Eamon and his flying sibling Murmur were taught to patrol areas in the wild. Ime and Malphus were designated for location defense. The meanest models were Andrus and Stalus, search and destroy drones that the wolves just love.
I'm sure they're all perfectly tailored for whatever Walker's got in mind. Go on.
Behemoths are massive tank-like machines with incredible firepower. You'll mostly find them guarding infrastructure and strategic assets. Azraels, on the other hand, are long-range, high-altitude spy drones. They're capable of recon over a wide array of land and utilize heat sensors and pattern recognition to identify threats and intrusions. They aren't very well suited for battle, though. They mostly just point out targets so that strike forces can do the dirty work.
Thanks, genius. Wish me luck. Explain something to me, this Titan program. Why in the hell would you think it was a good idea to build giant killing machines? Aren't lethal drones enough?
I recognize that smaller drones are already deadly and far more cost-efficient, but I was influenced.
Walker.
He was always complaining that the existing drones didn't have enough media presence. These days, wars are fought on television screens. He wanted Titans that could exude charisma and raise hope and simultaneously suffocate the spirit of a nation.
Sounds charming.
I find that once I'm given a task, my inspiration is fueled by the vacuum. I knew that what Walker wanted was entirely unnecessary for counterterrorism, but I got carried away. Now I shudder to imagine what he intended the whole time.
You're not the only one. Stay out of trouble.
Focus is my forte.
Haruhi was your close friend and she lied to you. How can you possibly come to terms with a betrayal like that?
People sometimes do things that aren't in line with their values. Haruhi was a woman of peace, but she still killed people. Skal had a dream for utopia and built hell. Honestly, I can't say I know what to believe in anymore.
Sometimes it's difficult to defend our actions. Things aren't always black and white. All you can really do is appease your conscience.
Even when that conscience is misguided?
Even then, sometimes it's the only thing you've got. I hear what you're saying.
I need to keep going. I just have to be more pragmatic from now on.
Why the fixation on the R&D Center? Project Omega.
Omega was a secret project initiated after the terrorist attack.
The Outcast attack.
Skal only selected his top-performing employees for it. He demanded utmost loyalty. Blind loyalty, because Omega went against everything Aroa stood for.
He needed to know Project Omega would be in the right hands.
And stay in the right hands. The R&D Center is the heart of the whole lethal drones operation. The fount of all ideas, all designs.
You seem to know a lot about it.
I used to work there.
Ah, it all makes sense now.
Reserve your judgments. Look, they have an army of scientists whose sole purpose is to engineer a mechanical superkiller.
That's a lot of manpower.
Brain power. Just think of what all that gray matter could have accomplished under the right encouragement. They corrupted noble intentions.
Huh. What's that saying again? The road to hell is paved or something?
I suffer every day for my mistakes. I will never forgive myself.
Well, maybe that's a start then. Nowhere to go from here but up. Still don't get how Skell could be interested in both Maddox and you. You're like night and day.
I would have said the same. Maddox was my opposite in every way, but here we are, both working on controlling killer drones.
Well, that's hardly a resemblance.
Still goes to show how stars can realign given the right circumstances. Skell always was the kind to trust his instincts.
Doesn't matter if you're doing the same things. The motivation behind them make all the difference.
I left my noble intentions behind a long time ago.
So how do you really feel about Project Deus?
Project Deus is a sect. Almost a cult. It's ridiculous.
Oh?
There are no gods in machines. Computers are tools, nothing more. They obey and carry out what we will of them.
Don't hold back now.
It's infuriating. Sadly, there is a certain power in what Maddox is trying to do. She has influence, and it has gotten her far.
What happens next?
I don't know. She's unstoppable when she puts her mind to something. All we can hope for is divine intervention before things get dangerous.
The virus Skell is developing. You think it'll work?
It's definitely coming out of left field, that's for sure.
That you would want to destroy his work?
He was so attached to those drones. I've never known him to be this pragmatic.
But will it work?
The virus is a wild card, but we have no other options. It has to.
That virus that's plaguing people at Air One. What was Sentinel hoping to achieve?
It's despicable. It is difficult to believe such a genetic targeting virus was even thought up. Even by Sentinel. It's on the island now. Traces of it. Who knows what devastation it will cause?
Some paradise island.
Skell couldn't have known about this. He must have... They were his researchers. Oh, God, we were so naive to think that our work would only be used for the betterment of man.
Your intentions were good. You can't help that your work was seized by lowlifes.
Yes, but I can't ignore my share in the responsibility. They wouldn't have been able to corrupt the technology if it never existed.
Okay. So, what is World 2.0? I mean, what is it to you?
Imagine if you had the power to solve all of the world's problems through technology, innovation, and sustainable development. World 2.0 is an opportunity for us to re-establish the link between mankind and the environment.
So, a utopia.
A utopia is unrealistic. Do I dream of a perfect world? Yes, but I'll settle for a better one. The joy of people coming together to achieve something bigger than themselves. That's the goal. A place where everyone can be the best version of themselves.
You make it sound lovely. Hey, Madeira, you know anything about the composite factory? The one in Smuggler Coves?
Yes, that's where they produce all the raw materials needed to build the drones. All of the alloys, plastics, and composites. You know, like carbon fiber and epoxy. It all happens in that factory. It plays a pretty vital role in the process and manufacturing of the drones.
How are they able to get all of those materials and resources?
They're extracted from the local mines and then reprocessed. It's a pretty effective system they've developed over there, actually.
That open pit mine in Mount Hodgson seems pretty unusual for a place like this.
It's not that unusual, actually. All the mines of Aroa are open-pitted. There are a lot of mines on other islands, but Aroa is really a geological anomaly. We have such an extremely high concentration of minerals that open-pitted mining made the most sense. Of all the different types of mining methods, it has the highest yield. I don't love the impact it has on the landscape or the environment, but it's the most cost-effective choice.
Those mines seem ripe for exploitation and profit.
They are. The brain matter of the drones, the very motherboards and electronics, are crafted from the minerals of those mines. It's simply an invaluable resource.
The Arrow. That flying drone test zone in Restricted Area 01. What else do you know about it?
Oh, that place? They call it the Arrow because it's shaped like the edge of an arrow. Go figure, right? Anyway, yes, it's where they launch the drones and test how they operate at low altitudes. The drone's AI is challenged by the topography of fjords, which is why that area was specifically chosen for testing.
So is the platform built into a mountain or something?
Yes, actually. It's built on the side of a mountain on the edge of the fjords. They come and go from a platform hidden right in the middle of the mountain range.
Fascinating. The tech on this island is really something else. I didn't realize 3D printing had gotten so sophisticated.
What you've seen is just the tip of the iceberg. Seriously, I'm thrilled with what's on the horizon. The printing alone, it's nothing short of remarkable. I'm so stoked about it.
What's the latest?
Basically, all they need are the raw materials, and they can produce pieces that surpass anything I've ever seen in traditional mass production. Properties like elasticity, thermal resistance, density. This printer of theirs can match it perfectly.
I can tell it's something you're really passionate about.
You have no idea. This is revolutionary. Seriously, all they need to do is imagine a specific part, feed the design into the computer, and the printer can produce it in a matter of minutes. The possibilities are endless.
That does sound pretty remarkable. Is it just me, or is there this real Area 51 vibe about the training center in that restricted area?
You've been watching too many of those old sci-fi shows, but I get why it makes you feel uneasy. That training center's a huge area for drone testing. It's like those old US nuclear testing sites from the 1950s. There's a test zone about the size of a small city that's filled with fake buildings. It helps the drones train for urban defense scenarios.
Or urban invasion scenarios.
I don't know about all that, but soldiers from Sentinel Corp do use it to train alongside lethal drones. It's all very top-secret, hush-hush stuff, done to preserve the safety and integrity of Aroa.
Oh, I get it. There's a detention center by Liberty. What's the history behind it?
It's basically a jail. It's fairly modernized, heavily guarded, and very protected. After the Outcast bombing, Sentinel Corp built it to lock up those people who threatened the security and safety of people living on the archipelago.
Well, I'm sure Sentinel only has the best of intentions.
Well, it's pretty ominous, actually. The people living there are just waiting for the law to decide what to do with them. I think it's inhumane.
Dollars to donuts, Sentinel sure as hell won't give him a fair trial. Stay safe.
You too.
Did you hear? Ballard has a cure.
At this point, I won't believe anything until I see it with my own eyes.
Fine, but allow yourself a little relief. But soon you'll be trying to think about the future. And we're gonna need you.
Future? We all need to decide. Sentinel attacked us with a plane, sneaks, cowards, and my brother was dead children.
Recognize her from Skeltech's public announcement videos. Who is she?
Her? That's Ayanna Puri. She's Skeltech's CFO. She's incredibly driven and loyal. She's been CFO for over 10 years. Hell, for business purposes, she is Skeltech.
Was she close to Skell?
Oh, extremely. They used to work together at the head office in Infinity.
If they were so close, what's she doing helping Sentinel?
I have no idea.
Sentinel could be forcing her to cooperate for all we know. Maybe she's just trying to protect her people.
I'd like to believe that, but I don't know.
How's Harmony holding up?
I don't know. She acts like everything is fine, but I worry about the long-term effects of staying here.
She's tough.
She's under so much stress. The shock of everything must be hard on her. I thought I was bringing her to paradise. The Schultzes are very kind, but Erewhon is no place for her. Not with all the fighting and the violence.
No one could have seen what's going on here coming, but it happened, and you're both here. Now the only thing you can do is keep her safe, which is why you should be helping Schultz protect Erewhon.
You're right. It's the only thing I can do to make sure she's okay.
What's her mother think of all this?
She left us a few years ago. She ran off with some... It doesn't matter. I'm all Harmony has left.
You just try to stay strong for her, all right? She's gonna need you to get through this. Where can I find Skell's villa?
It's in the New Argyll province. It's called Skell Estate. It's one of Skell Architecture's masterpieces. It's stunning. You can't miss it.
And how come he gave you the access code?
I've been there many times with Harmony. Skell loves it when she comes over. She brings some life into the place. It's just him in there, aside from the maids. I don't think he really likes it there.
Then why does he stay there?
He'd be happy with a bunk bed and a lab. But he's the CEO of Skeltech, one of the most profitable companies in the world. That comes with certain responsibilities, like a public image he has to keep up, even if he doesn't want to.
If Skell has everyone on this island working on his projects, why does he need a secret lab?
I don't know. Skell's always been secretive. I think he's very insecure.
He's one of the richest men in the world. What's he have to be insecure about?
I think he's afraid people will think he's a crackpot if they find out some of his more visionary ideas.
Like what?
Oh, over the years, he's mentioned some real wild ideas. Cybernetics, transhumanism, immortality, perpetual motion. I can go on and on. If you could dream it, he's got ideas on how to make it work.
Including killer drone swarms?
I don't know.
He might be some sort of genius, but for now, I don't trust him. Skell runs all the industry on Aroa. But what about the people who live on the island? Is he in charge of their lives too?
Oh no. The people of Aroa ran their own government. The capital is in the City of Liberty. We used to hold elections and have a parliament that represents the people and creates the laws on the island.
And what happens when people break these laws?
Well, we have our own court where people can plead their case.
But Skeltech pays for all of this, right?
They do. They provide whatever the citizenry ask for.
As long as it meets their agenda.
Anyone on Aroa who disagrees with Skeltech's agenda is free to leave.
Is that Sentinel's policy?
No. No. Now that they've taken over, they've shut down everything.
I guess the government of Aroa didn't have so much power after all. Skel mentioned a data farm in Aroa. What can you tell me about it?
Shoot. What do you want to know? It's where Skeltech stores everything. I mean, the whole place runs out of that data farm. The facility is so huge, they had to build it up on a mountainside in Silent Mountain.
Must be pretty important.
You have no idea. Skel wants to use it to store all of mankind's knowledge for all eternity. I mean everything, from how to start a fire with a couple of rocks to ion thrusters. And he wants to make it available to everyone across the globe. The complete democratization of knowledge.
How could he possibly get all of mankind's knowledge in the first place?
Easy. The internet. It's all there. We just had to write the proper algorithms to pull the information out and classify it. It was a huge operation.
Was?
Well, now the Sentinel shut the internet off, we can't harvest information anymore.
Skel told me about a hospital in Liberty. What can you tell me about it?
It's one of the best in the world, for starters. Everything is state-of-the-art. They're even using AI to help make diagnoses. They do a lot of groundbreaking work, cyber prosthetics, cosmetic surgery, well-being therapy. And the best part is, it's all free to anyone on Aroa.
I'll have to remember that if I need to get patched up.
You might want to make an appointment before you go. There's been a lot more patients since Sentinel took over.
I bet it doesn't help that there's no way to get doctors or supplies in with the island on lockdown.
Even worse, Sentinel soldiers get priority. They get real suspicious of any civilians coming in with injuries. Now people are afraid to see a doctor because they're afraid of being interrogated.
There's a huge concrete building in the new Sterling farmlands that no one's mentioned before. What is it?
The new Sterling farmlands? Oh, you must mean the World Seed Vault.
What does Skel want with seeds?
It's all part of his plan to set Aroa up as some kind of Noah's Ark in the event of a global catastrophe.
I guess it pays to plan ahead.
I don't really see the point of it. Most of the farming Skel does is based on old methods that are proven to fail. It's one of those things he got a big idea for, but he didn't see it through. I tried to tell him there are more progressive ways of farming, but he didn't want to hear it.
I saw what's left of the Skel Foundation in Infinity. I get why everyone's so worked up about terrorists.
That day left a big scar on this island. I don't think we've ever recovered.
Why attack the Foundation? They don't manufacture anything there. All the data inside must be backed up somewhere else.
It was the face of Skeltech. The symbol of Skel's greatness.
Someone wanted to send a very clear message.
Over 40 souls were lost to send that message. Skel ordered the building not to be repaired. He wanted it to be a memorial.
You mentioned emails before. I'm assuming Aroa is connected to the internet.
Skeltech is one of the most advanced tech companies in the world. Of course we have internet. We even have our own private network. Everything is connected to a next-gen, uncentralized 6G network. It's light years ahead of the traditional server client set.
That's great, but I don't know what any of that means. Just tell me one thing. Can it connect to the mainland?
Sure. It's connected by an underwater cable that runs from Aroa to New Zealand. There's also a backup satellite connection in case the cable is ever damaged.
Great. Where can I find them?
You can't get to them as long as Sentinel Corp runs the island's security. That's a dead end. They both run through the Aurora Internet Control Center. Unfortunately, it's way up in Silent Mountain. The only way to get to it is by flying shuttle. Once Sentinel took over, the first thing they did was take control of the center and ground the shuttles.
To keep people from getting a message out?
To control and filter messages coming both in and out. They own us here.
What can you tell me about the Natural Hazards Control?
The NHC? How do you know about that?
I saw a station on Good Hope Mountain.
Ah, yes. That's our contingency.
Contingency?
We're out in the middle of nowhere. We need to be able to protect ourselves in the event of a natural disaster. Once the volcano on Gollum Island went active, well, we had to do something to make sure that everyone in Aroa felt safe.
And how exactly is Skell planning to keep people safe against a volcano?
Massive shelters, enough to house 30,000 people, the whole island. They're also designed to protect against hurricanes and tsunamis. The NHC is also in constant contact with a weather station to warn us about any threats. Like everything Skell does, he built it to the extreme.
And I'm willing to bet that means they're under heavy surveillance. Fox, I have to tell you something.
What? What's wrong?
Not all of the scientists made it. Some died in Herzog's prison.
But they were just scientists. These goddamn tyrants are always preying upon scientists. They treat us like they're little toys, using us to make themselves more powerful and then throwing us away like we're nothing.
They had to know there was some risk when they signed up to secretly develop weapons.
No. Scientists use science for good. It's the men who own it who choose to do evil.
I suppose they could have just given Herzog what she wanted, but they chose to die rather than let her use her technology to hurt other people. They should be remembered for that.
You're right. I'm going to spend the rest of my life making sure everyone knows that.
Listen, this must be a lot to take right now. So why don't you get some rest? This fight isn't over. We still need you.
You're right. Thank you for saving the ones you could.
I saw there was a medical center at Mount Hodgson. Kind of a remote area for clinic, don't you think?
They do a lot of mining out there. It's hours from the capital, so they needed an emergency care center that was local.
Are machines doing all the mining?
Most of it, but they still need humans calling the shots.
What kind of facilities do they have?
It's pretty basic. It's just designed to stabilize patients until they can get them to the main hospital in Liberty.
Thanks for the help, Fox. I'll see you later.
Anything different since that broadcast went out?
A group of outcasts saved my...
Later, brother.
Later. Do you ever see this coming? Hey, I get we have to fight Santa.
Lucky you found this place.
Rowan Brown knew about this place for a while. We figured sacred ground always makes good sanctuary.
That's pretty damp, though.
It's still a work in progress, all right? We've managed to stay under the radar so far. With all of you, our people, a bunch of Skeltech employees. I don't think you've got room to complain.
Hey, I'm not complaining. This place is great. You take care of your people like a good NCO.
They're their own people. We've no leaders here. Even so, I guess most people do look to me.
Probably what Uncle Sam saw in you, I'd bet. Where'd you serve?
26 Expeditionary. I was infantry in Liberia and the Balkans. UN support off the Somali coast.
NCO pension didn't suit you?
I got tired of fighting over oil. So when the good old US of A stopped pretending we had any other purpose, so did I. Served out the rest of my enlistment and decided to stay.
If I was you, I would have left the island when Skeltec moved in.
Skell wasn't so bad at the start.
Until he made killer drones and turned the island into an exclusion zone?
Obviously.
Yep. Technology can be a pain in the ass.
Yep.
You said Maria's your old lady?
I'd jump into fire for that woman.
You met here? On Aroa?
She moved here as a child. She was about 20 when we got together. Some people find me prickly, if you can believe that. But she saw right through me. I've been searching my whole life for someone like her. She's as responsible for our success as Rowan and me.
How's it feel having Skell here?
He's just a person. Granted, not exactly my kind of people. Part of me's disappointed. The man can talk. Even had me starting to believe he was different.
But then came the drones.
Then came the drones. I wonder how many times in his career he's claimed more credit than he deserved. Now all he wants to do is give it away. Hopefully he makes himself useful. Time will tell. In the meantime, I'll talk with Fox instead.
Fair enough. I'm sorry about those folks who died trying to make it to the Wasp.
Appreciate you saying so, I guess. I ain't left Aroa since I decided to stay. Most of us who were homesteading here, we made a point of cutting ourselves off from everything.
Small price to pay for paradise.
Once. But now we can't leave.
So you pay a higher price to take it back?
Maybe. But these people aren't warriors. Whatever survived, I get the feeling it wouldn't be the same. Aroa'd be ruined. Just another place where people died.
A lot of new faces around.
Yours included.
It's good of you. Sharing your food, patching us up, giving us a place to rest. I know it must be a strain.
Something on your mind?
I'm wondering, how long is this place gonna be a secret?
You think I haven't thought of that? Or what happens if one of these victims turns out to be a Sentinel soldier? I owe my people. I know that. I'll do whatever I have to protect them, first, last, and only if it comes to that.
I get it. But first you have to survive.